What's good, everybody? It's your boy Server Error 405. This is the Final Four Sports program. And of course, I cannot do this by myself. I have these three outstanding gentlemen. They're ready to tell all that's willing to listen, all the knowledge of sports that they have. And first up, we're going to go to Compton and we're going to head over to my main man, Jay Prince Dior. What's good, buddy?
I am on the opposite side of Compton, but straight out of Philly. Nah, man, I'm good, man. It's good to be back. I missed last week, but we back like we never left. So I'm just excited to get it going.
That's what's up. And next up, we got the man who is a proud Celtics fan wearing the cleanest jersey I've ever seen him wear. Not that one, the blue one. We got Vondre. What's good, buddy?
What up, big dog? You know me and Bray held it down last week, so Dior, we glad you back, sir. Let's blow this shit up today, man.
All
Get it
right.
going, man.
I like it.
This is the first
It,
time we all been together in a while. I feel like
it's
like
been a
the
few.
fourth.
It's been a few weeks. It's been a few weeks. So
Yeah.
last but not least, we have a man who is still on the run, still hiding out. We got Bray Dollars. What's up, buddy?
What's good, everybody? Been an interesting sports couple of weeks, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Of course, we're going to start with the championship of the NBA. We're not going to start with hockey this time. We're going to start with the NBA. Last night, OKC goes up 3-2 over Indiana. I caught like the fourth quarter pretty much. It was still relatively close, but OKC held it down. Then it went in by like 15 or something.
Yeah.
11.
Or 11, yeah. I mean, same thing, really. It's like
Type shit, yeah.
they
Yeah.
pretty much
It could have been 15, easily 15.
yeah,
Could've been, yeah.
it could have been 20, to be honest,
Could have
from
been,
what I was
could
watching.
have been 50. You just got a 50.
Yeah, this is called 50. They won by 50 last night.
About 50.
So we're gonna start with Vondre. What were your thoughts if you watched the game last night on that game, and do you think they close it out in game 6?
To be honest with you, how they played on at home, it's hard to beat OKC. It's hard. They even went into the Indiana game in game 4, and they came out with that dub. And I do believe that they can close it out in 6, only because the lack of play from the starting lineup yesterday in Indiana. Like, we were looking forward to their starting lineup actually putting in work, and it was more so TJ McConnell and Obi Toppin off the bench putting in a lot more work than everybody else did in the starting lineup. Halliburton wasn't really there. Nemhart was really firing all cylinders, but Turner and Siakam didn't come up and provide, and neither did Neesmith. So it's kind of hard to win a game when your starters can barely put up points and your bench has to do all the work.
Ray, what'd you think?
Well, if it the Shay's in bubble wrap as always, as he's been the whole NBA season. Shay remains being in bubble wrap. Um, I watched Game 4, the ending of Game 4. That's been the most I've watched of this finals because of how hard it is to personally watch OKC. And within 5 minutes, I want to say OKC went to the line like probably half a dozen times in 5 minutes, and it's just like this isn't what I want to watch when I'm watching NBA Finals. Like these games are competitive until they're not. Like you can't touch Shea, you can't touch Jalen Williams, you can't touch anybody on OKC. If you touch them, they're gonna head to the line. And
Even at a jump
it's
ball.
unbearable to watch. I think they'll probably yeah, like literally like anything. Like they will get whatever they could give them. And I think OKC probably will close this one out. But who knows? Maybe because they're going back to Indiana for Game 6, maybe Indiana could kind of rally behind their home crowd, and just hope there's like Vondre said, hope their starters show up. Otherwise, it's going to be another rough night for them.
Dior, what'd you think?
Yeah, I mean it's really hard. I agree with Bray. It's really hard to really watch the finals. I have been watching every game, but it is difficult and it's really kind of annoying. I just have to give it up for. I do have to still give it up for the Pacers. They did lose, but the reason I'm giving it up for them is because like if you really watch these games, like these guys will be down like 20 points and they just refuse to die. They just refuse to die. And a lot of times it just comes down to those moments where Shea gets to go to the line or, a lot of those guys get the favorable calls. And all in all, I think that that's going to be the deciding factor in this entire thing, which is never what you want. But at the end of the day, I think that the Pacers have been playing their hearts out. Tyrese didn't fully show up last night. I know he was nursing a bit of an injury. I think during the game he might have got banged up.
Yeah, I think he like collapsed like when he was going to the lane on a drive, and he banged his right leg into the floor.
Yeah. So he was nursing that, and that made it a little bit more difficult to him. For him, T.J. McConnell showed up, and that, I mean, he was really the driving force to kind of get them back and keep them in the game. But you just can't beat the machine, man. You can't beat the machine.
Yeah,
so,
it seems like OKC is pretty much destined to do it. I mean, and they're the best team, like the entire playoffs. I mean, it's pretty clear. So if they win it, people wouldn't be too shocked. But, Indiana still has action. I think that, that Halliburton injury and him not really showing up yet last night, that's huge for them. Yeah. Like
he's their team. He's their team.
Without him, he's like the heart and soul too. So, I mean, I think he had like 5 points or something like that. I think that if he actually could get, even 15, 20 points, that's going to be enough for the rest of the Pacers to just show up and have a shot. But beating OKC 2 in a row is going to be very, very tough for them. And I agree with Bray too. Just, SGA just wrapped in fucking bubble wrap. It's crazy. And I posted this in the Discord
server. It's so annoying, bro.
I posted in the Discord server that he had a foul call during that jump ball when they're at the free throw line. And it was a jump ball. And how do you fucking foul someone in a jump ball?
How do you get a foul during a jump ball? I've never seen that in my life.
I thought it was AI or a joke or something at first. I had to like double check, and it was real. And I was like, what? I've never in my life seen that shit.
Yeah, I've never seen that. All my years watching basketball, I've never seen it. But I will say this. I love Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, I really do. And he's really embracing the villain role, and I'm really enjoying that. Honestly, he's going to be one of the. I think SGA is destined to be the face of the league, because I said this in the beginning. Like, this finals is kind of gonna like show who the face of the league is going to be going forward. I think, and SGA, he's kind of primed to be there. It is what it is. But Tyrese Halliburton is one of those guys who you could just like look at and you're just like, yeah, this is the guy who could be in that conversation too. He could be the face of the league.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been saying, like, everybody, like, prior to like this big run by Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers themselves, like, everybody was like calling Tyrese Halliburton overrated. Everybody was like, all the media outlets were just on there saying he's not everything he's not to be, and literally he has made himself into a superstar.
That dude hits shots like Steph Curry, bro.
Like, you could title this run "A Star Is Born" by how good he's playing. And then like I saw a clip from last night too, from everybody's favorite sports journalist, Stephen A. Smith, who, like, at the halftime break, he says I don't remember how exactly he worded it, but like they were talking about Halliburton's injury, and he literally word for word says, "I'm glad he's hurt." Like, literally, like, word for word said he was glad he was hurt.
Wow. That's pretty crazy, actually, to say that. I mean,
on national television of all places.
I mean,
I'm glad he's hurt. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So are we all agreeing that OKC is pretty much going to win it?
Oh, I don't listen, man. I said that it was going to be Pacers in 5. I think the Pacers can still pull it out and shock everyone. They're clearly the underdog in this thing, just because they have the system on their side. But I think the Pacers can still do it, and I still gotta hope that they can. I'm rooting for them like I root for the Sixers. So I mean,
yeah. I mean, to be honest, like, if they were to come back and win the 2 straight, and Halliburton has 2 great games, and you talk about stars born, that takes you to another level against this OKC team. Like, that would be incredible. And to be honest, like, being down 3-2 isn't that bad. So it's not like, oh, we're in trouble. No, you just win the game. You tie it up. Now you go game 7.
And it fits his identity, and it fits the narrative. The Pacers have been the comeback kids the entire playoffs. Okay, yeah. So they have been counted out, and then they have come back. I mean, in games where they're down damn near 30 points, they come back and win it. by 3. You know, so I'm not counting them guys out. Tyrese is a superstar. Period. End of story.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, Indiana, you can't count them out, and kind of gives us a nice little segue to the Stanley Cup Finals. Edmonton, who you never can count out, they lost to Florida. So Florida is ready to close it out, I believe, tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I think the game is tonight. I have that same opinion with Edmonton that I do with Indiana. Even though I want Florida to win, I predicted Edmonton to win. I don't see them, you know, going down without a fight, because those motherfuckers never die. We'll start with our senior hockey correspondent, Bray Dallas. What do you think about the Cup? Who do you think wins it? And overall, how do you feel about the series?
It's been a fun series so far. All in all, like the games have been really fun. Outside of that one game where Florida just dominated that one game. But outside of that, it's been all a fun series. Every game's been really competitive, real close. For Florida's sake, if they want to win this, they better win tonight. They better close it out. You better put the lights out while you have the opportunity to, because if you give Edmonton more life than they already have, you're cooking yourself.
Yeah,
you're cooking yourself.
They'll never give up. Dre, have you caught anything? I know you said you've been on vacation.
Yo, I did.
Okay, what'd you think?
I watched one game. I watched the game on Thursday. I think that was Florida's home game. And, bro, they were out there mollywopping Edmonton for a little bit. Knock on fraud.
Yeah.
I was at Buffalo Wild Wings watching that shit. Shit was intense.
Did you enjoy it, though? Like, does it make you want to watch more hockey?
It's so fucking fast-paced, though, bro. Like, it's just like – it's so fast for me to watch. It's just like watching two flies just going back and forth, fucking flying against each other. I'm just like, God damn, that shit isn't like, yo, if you're into that, bro, your fucking eyes got to be moving constantly. Shit's faster than basketball, soccer, everything. That shit is intense.
But it goes by quick. That's what's really good about it.
So I know. The quarters go by so fast. There's barely any timeouts and shit.
Not
Periods.
quarters.
My fault. My bad.
We sound like rookies.
Yeah.
I know, bro. My apologies.
They only have 3 quarters in this one.
3 quarters. What the fuck is this?
Where's the fourth?
That shit is crazy. Where's the fourth quarter at?
Well, that threw me off the first time I watched. I was like, wait a minute, there's not a fourth quarter here?
Well, there's only 3.
Dior, you been watching?
Oh yeah. Oh well, I've been watching on and off. You know, I've enjoyed this a lot, actually, a lot more than I thought I would. I actually kind of want Edmonton to pull it out, because like I'm at this point, like I'm new to hockey, so I'm just kind of rooting for the underdog at this point. I think Florida is a very overpowered team from what I've seen.
Yeah.
But I think that if Skinner can show up and just, you know, play like he played against Dallas, I think that honestly they have a chance. Like Bray said, if you give Edmonton a chance, and I've learned this in a very short time of watching hockey, give Edmonton a chance, they'll make you pay. They're going to take it. They'll make you pay. So
and this is a rematch of last year's Stanley Cup too, which went 7 games and Florida won. So Florida's trying to go back to back, and Edmonton's trying to get there. And honestly, and this is a crazy stat, there hasn't been a Canadian Stanley Cup champion in almost 30 years, I believe. Ray, maybe you can fact check me, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been, and I think the last team to win was Edmonton, I believe. So, or maybe Montreal. I don't know. Montreal is one. Montreal, the Canadians are like the GOAT hockey team, because they won like 27 Stanley Cups. Like, they're like the Yankees, basically, in hockey. Yeah, they've won quite a few. And I know Sean Pittman is watching this somewhere, and he's very happy. But go fuck yourself, Sean. So we're gonna move on to another championship game that happened over the weekend, and our senior UFL correspondent, Jay Prince Dior, is going to talk a little bit about it. And I know Bray's very happy about it as well. How you feel? How do you feel about the? Before we get into the stats and everything, I didn't watch the game or anything like that. I asked a couple questions. Bray, answered in the server. But what is your opinion on the turnout for the championship game, the game itself as just a football game, or just say you're watching like the Super Bowl? Would it be compared to a competitive Super Bowl game? Like, was it a competitive game? And what's your expectations for next season?
So all in all, I think that um, the games have been great. All in all, the games have been great around the board. I mean, there's been some blowouts and here and there, like any sport, but um, the games have been great. Going to the championship game, it was competitive until it wasn't. It was a very good game until DC just kind of pulled away. These were two of the best teams. It was DC Defenders versus the Michigan Panthers. I myself am a DC fan, given the fact that they're closest to my area and Philly. Um, it's the only team over here until they expand. And they ended up beating Michigan 58-34. Jordan Teamu, the quarterback for the DC Defenders, went 21 for 28, 390 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and that won him the MVP of the UFL Championship game. But Bryce Perkins was nothing to sneeze at either, and Bryce Perkins was honestly phenomenal all year long. I'll be surprised if he doesn't get a contract with the NFL, along with Jordan Teamu. His stat line looked a little something like this: 21 for 35, 338 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So just given those stats, it was a pretty entertaining game to watch. I mean, they were going back and forth, just blow for blow. Touchdown was a shootout for a while, and then eventually DC's defense just kind of overpowered Michigan's offense, and then DC just kept scoring where Michigan couldn't. So overall, very happy with this year. Next year, I know they're going to be expanding at least two or three teams. My Philly Stars aren't coming back yet, but they did file a trademark for that name. So when that happens, DC, bye-bye. I'm a Philly Star fan. But overall, UFL was great this year.
How was the turnout, the crowd turnout? Was there a good crowd?
I actually didn't check out the numbers for the crowd turnout, but the crowd turnout has been spotty. The St. Louis Battlehawks, I think, pulled in the most attendance numbers for the entire year. They had a good amount of fans. If you watch their games, it looked like a preseason game, at least, of the NFL. So there were people there. But the viewership has gone up. And that's really the people watching on TV, people watching online, people watching there. So while the attendance number hasn't been too high, the viewership has been pretty good, which is why they're going to be able to expand and go on.
Okay, Bray.
The season was great. Like honestly, like I was a lot more in tune with this UFL season than I have in years past. The championship game itself was good. And then unfortunately, it kind of got to the point where the DC just kind of pulled away ultimately. But it was it was just a great year all around, like just for the league itself. Like there's obviously growth being shown, not with the crowds and the viewership. So I think it's only bigger from here. Like this is honestly kind of like, I think it's going to become like almost that minor league, G League kind of thing for the NFL almost.
Okay. I mean, I hope so. I mean, from how you guys talk about certain players, I've watched a couple games. It sounds like there could be potential of, some future NFL stars in there possibly. You never know.
Stars is an overstatement.
Well, you never know.
But hey, I mean, like I said, I touted this before years ago when the UFL, well, it was XFL then, first, not first came out, but when it revamped right before COVID. PJ Walker from Temple, he played for the Roughnecks, and he had a phenomenal year. Was that
played for the Carolina Panthers too?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. He had a phenomenal year in the XFL, and that's how he got to the Panthers, because they saw and they were like, "Wow, let's sign this guy as a backup." They signed him. I think Sam Darnold got knocked out, and he played a few games and played well. So there's definitely some opportunity for these guys who either didn't get a fair shake. I mean, Bryce Perkins was in the NFL and he didn't play that well, but now he's getting a second chance to showcase his talent. So it's just a proving ground. And hey, it's football for when football ain't on. So if you're a football fan, please watch the UFL. It's worth it.
Okay. Dre, have you checked out any UFL? Have you?
I have not checked out any of it.
Shame on you.
I know.
Are you going to give him a shot next season?
I might actually give him a shot this season. Next season coming up,
I might do it too. I might start from the beginning and just give it an old college try and see how it is for the whole season.
Yeah.
See if I have that.
If the level of play is anything like this year, it will be enjoyable. The games were extremely exciting. They were exciting.
And now the guys are done with the season and off to their jobs at Walmart for the off season. But so
real estate.
College is coming around soon. See, it leads you right into
get you right.
Yeah, but we still got ways away, man. We're about to hit that dog days, man, where you just gotta like toughen up with no sports for a good while.
Yeah, that's when all of our episodes are going to be about a little bit of baseball and who's the greatest of all time. Let's go position by position.
Go into our segment soon.
every position ever played in sports. Who's the greatest?
I can't wait for that series. That's going to be fun.
It's going to be hilarious. So the one thing that was hilarious to me, and that's my segue into this, was that big NBA trade. And it's big for me just for the fact that 4 first-round draft picks for fucking Bane, bro. 4 first-round draft picks. Luka went for 1. There was 1 in the Luka trade.
And then they even gave up Cole Anthony, too.
And KCP.
And KCP went, too.
And KCP's gone.
So I need someone to try to make sense of it. We'll go with Andre. Let's see if you could even make any kind of sense whatsoever with this trade. Gray mentioned this in the server that they have to have something cooking for them to get rid of this guy. What do you think, Andre?
You know when you like play NBA 2K and you go to like my league and you turn off like the trade logic,
right.
Like and then you just start doing whatever you want type shit. That is literally what happened in that trade. Desmond Bane is a fucking velociraptor walking around playing basketball with the shortest arms in the world. Who in their right mind would bro, you can't even do it in the game unless you turn the trade logic off.
Yeah, you got
to. First off, that just sounds insane. Like, bro, you just told me the Luka trade. There was only 1 first rounder in that, but 4 first round picks.
We're gonna give you Luka for Al Horford. There you
go. 4 first round picks for Desmond Bane. Him and Bray Dollars got the same arm length.
I mean, I might have longer arms if we're being honest.
You might honestly.
Yeah.
That arm like this.
Listen, sir, that's all I got to say about that. Turn the trade logic off.
Let him cook.
Right, Bray. What do you think?
I mean, like I said in the Discord server, Orlando's got to, and they better, because I'm a big Paolo Banchero fan. Despite him going to Duke, I still like Paolo Banchero. And
Franz Wagner, bro.
And him and Wagner, like they better have some in the works behind the scenes, because if that's your big move, as you were like, did they make the playoffs or were they like a borderline?
They did. They were first round.
Yeah.
Okay. They made you just made the playoffs with a very young team, and obviously that seems to be the formula for success. Your team isn't like as good as OKC when we're talking about young teams, but they could get there. You know what I mean? You have a lot of young guys you can invest in, but it's like, what big move now are you gonna make to make this all just make sense? Because right now you look at it, I personally don't believe in the NBA. This is why picks get moved around so much. They don't matter as much, especially if they're outside of the lottery. Like you realistically won't find a good player outside of the top 15. Every once in a while you will, but you're not gonna find it that much. That's why you see these first rounds in high quantities just get dealt out, because they don't matter.
There was 4 of them. There's 4 of them.
It was 4.
Like, you can't even invest in young talent no more. Like, that is out the window, bro. You lost 4 first round picks.
Well, they might. That's why I say they must be investing in a win now mode, because that's the only way it makes sense if you're willing to give up 4 first round picks.
Yeah, because you can't really like say, oh, they're building for their future when their future is the first round picks that they gave away. So I mean, if you want to get a guy like Kevin Durant who's looking around, those 4 first rounders would help in getting a guy like Kevin Durant to help your team.
What I'm hearing is Kevin Durant's likely San Antonio Spur.
Yeah,
I heard that too.
With Victor Wembanyama, which That could be very interesting.
And De'Aaron Fox is over there too. So.
Yeah, and Aaron Fox. That could become a very interesting team.
It could be interesting, but they also said that shit when he went to Phoenix too. Like a lot of places he goes, like it's gonna definitely, boost their team because he's still like, a great, phenomenal player. But still, like, he hasn't proven that he could really win on his own. Like he's not that guy, pal. You know what I mean? Like he's a great scorer, one of the greatest ever, and just
I also don't understand why Phoenix is so adamant on giving up Kevin Durant when they have Bradley Beal on their roster, just taking up a roster spot. Like I would 100% deal Bradley Beal before I even looked at dealing Kevin Durant out.
Yeah. Dior, what do you think of the trade? Did you pay attention, or are you so focused on UFL?
Yeah. I'm just sitting here. I'm listening to you guys talk. So, all right, man. Look, I obviously don't disagree. I think it's just been a very strange trade year for the NBA. Between the Luka trade and this. Let me play devil's advocate. I wrote down some stuff just to kind of maybe see it from the Magic's point of view, right? Okay, so Desmond Bane is a 41% three-point shooter, okay? He is a legit three-level scorer, right? He does punish teams on and off the ball. So that's what the Magic gain in him. Do they gain any more than that? No. Do they lose a lot more than that? Yes. They lose 4 unprotected first-round picks. Cole Anthony gone. KCP gone. I don't think the trade's definitely not worth it. But the Magic, they probably view it as like a home run, just because Bane fits perfectly with Banchero, and and I feel like it doesn't address this like need for a perimeter shooter. So yeah, I see what they were trying to do, but
there were better ways to do it.
Yeah,
I don't even see what they were trying to do. I still don't even see what they were trying to do. It just it's fucking crazy to me.
So they were trying to address the perimeter and 3-point shooting on their team that lacks. Okay, so I agree with that. Is he the guy to fix that? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to change overnight. The risk is surrounding the draft picks, really. That's the biggest problem.
That's my biggest issue.
You're giving up your future. Yeah, you're giving up your future for something that might not work. So now you're going to have to hope that Banchero and Bane mesh and to reach superstar status. But I will say that Bane does bring leadership to the Magic that the Magic doesn't have. So I'm trying to play devil advocate here to try to make it like.
I'll say this, bro. I'll say this. At the end of the day, it could have just been the players only. It didn't have to be the 4 first-round picks. Even if you give them 1 first-round pick, it's like for a guy who's
they would have taken the trade.
15 points a game, 18 points a game, or whatever. Like he's just like a whatever fucking player. He's definitely not worth first round. Throw some fourth round picks or some shit in there. Yeah. But these motherfuckers probably saw how the lottery turned out. They were like, fuck,
they would have taken that. They would have taken the trade if it was less. That's what's killing me. It's like you act like if they would have offered a 4th round pick or maybe 2 4th round picks or something like that. Like they act like the Grizzlies wouldn't be like, or like, oh, okay, or Magic would be, But at the end of the day, like they gave up all this, so now you gotta like you're just gonna have to see what happens. It's not gonna work though. We all know that.
And the Grizzlies now ultimately can take, because now they have a fucking abundance of draft picks. They could go play a flipper. Like they could see what they could get.
Yeah,
or,
the Grizzlies are about to eat, bro.
Hey, yeah. I'll deal you Jaren Jackson and a couple first, and you give me this superstar. Yeah. Like you can easily now.
Yeah. So now with the question is, well, did the Magic win the trade?
No.
Like, no, the Grizzlies won the trade for sure.
Yeah. The funniest thing was in the server when I posted the trade, and Paulie Barrows, shout out Paulie Barrows. He's like, I don't really watch a lot of NBA. Who won that trade? I was like, can you see all the first round picks? What do you think won the trade?
Round picks.
one
Yeah.
player, and then all these
You can
picks.
legitimately build a super team off of 4 first-round picks.
You really could do some.
And
something.
you already have Ja. Like,
yeah, and then you have Kevin Durant just kind of looking around and for shit. Like, I'm just saying, those four first rounders make more sense. And Luka only getting 1 first round in his fucking trade.
Well,
Bro,
fucking
Bro,
crazy.
they
the
literally
thing-
have so much
the best,
ammunition just to go get Kevin Durant now, and you just
well,
put him in there with Scottie Pippen Jr., John Morant, Zach Edey, and Jaren Jackson Jr. You literally have one of the most unstoppable offenses.
the NBA is
Yeah.
playing. The NBA is playing 2K right now. They're
I
just
feel like
true.
if it is the Grizzlies, which seemingly, because from what it seems like, every fucking player that's on the market wants to go to Texas because of the income tax thing. But like Giannis wants to go play in Texas because of income tax, and KD. Well, KD's from Texas. He played college at Texas, so it doesn't shock me that he wants to go to Texas.
KD is not from Texas. KD is from outside of DC.
Okay, well, he played at Texas.
Yeah.
He played at Texas, so he wants to go back. You know, you
KD
get what I'm
is-
saying. Nobody wants to go play for the Wizards, so he's obviously not gonna go that fucking far back home.
I mean, if he wanted to check, I mean, Russell Westbrook did it, and he led them to like the playoffs. I don't know how he did
Yeah,
it,
but
he
like, do you really want to go play with Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole?
Kyle
and test
Kuzma's
that
not
water?
on there. Kyle Kuzma plays for the Bucks.
Dude. See, that's because the Wizards are garbage. I can't keep track of their roster.
They got Chris
Well,
Middleton. They got
I
Jordan
overall
Poole.
can't keep track of NBA trades anyway because they trade too much. If you ask me,
Well,
but that's
yeah,
If
another
I was
episode.
KD, I would go to the Wizards. They're getting Cooper Flag. They
No, the
got
Mavericks are
Jordan
getting Cooper
Poole.
Flag.
No, they're not getting him, man. There's no way.
The Mavericks have the #1 pick. What do you mean? There's no way?
Yeah, what do you
They're
mean?
gonna
There's no way?
trade, bro. The Wizards are about to get this nasty trade
Dude,
because
the
they
Wizards
have trade bait.
Dude, the
I
Wizards have
don't
nothing
know.
to give
I
up.
don't know,
The Wizards,
Vondre. I
there's
feel
nothing.
like they're gonna
What,
get.
bro? They still have Chris Middleton.
Bro, they're okay, bro. We're not gonna act
They're
like
gonna get flagged, bro.
you're
Come
not
on.
gonna you're not gonna trade.
They just gave up Desmond Bain for 4 first-round
Yeah,
picks,
but
and you don't think
but you're
Middleton could get traded for
but
some hot shit?
but you're not going to trade what has been deemed the future of the league, 19-year-old Cooper Flag for Chris Middleton. That's what I don't.
Get a
I
couple
mean,
first-rounders. Yeah, you
but
will.
it is. But you know who it is? It is Nico Harrison. So I'm not throwing anything off the table with that guy.
I don't think he's trade. I don't think they're gonna get
Hey,
rid of him.
hey, if he wants to live safely in Dallas, he better
Right.
He better hold
Surprised
tightly
bro
to
he
that
died
bitch.
after
Yeah.
the Luka trade.
Yeah, there's no way that they're gonna give that guy up. That's their future. That's their build
Because
their team around guy.
That's what saved him, was them winning the lottery.
Yeah.
Nico, if they don't win that lottery, Nico's just
Them winning the lottery.
They won
Yeah,
the
them
lottery,
winning.
right? That lottery was like the Royal Rumble lottery. They used to do.
That's why the fucking team gave up
And
those
like the
4 first
Undertaker
round
would be
picks.
number 30. Like that's the lottery.
Just drawing it. They don't even show you the number. They're just like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're 30. All
Yeah,
right,
right.
get out there. All right. So we got through the NBA stuff. Over the weekend also, it was a pretty big weekend. They had some UFC action for free for everybody, which is great.
No, it was on ESPN.
Yeah, it was on ESPN. It was I caught toward the last couple of fights. I was entertained. It was really good. And Bray, you are the senior UFC correspondent. What did you think overall? And what big fight is coming up next that you're excited about?
I'm gonna look outside of the main card, and it was Malcolm Wellmaker and Chris Montino. Malcolm Wellmaker lands a fucking just nasty shot in the first round to get a KO. And like the funny story was, he was like in his post fight interview, if he gets a bonus, he literally said if he gets like any sort of fight bonus money wise, he was gonna go quit his job on Monday. And then after he got the 50K bonus, he posted a video of quitting his job and collecting his tools, which was pretty hilarious.
That's kind of crazy.
It is. And then Buckley and Usman was kind of interesting. I feel like Buckley should have been a lot more aggressive with Usman, especially with
He got fucked up, bro. He got dominated.
Yeah, and now, I mean, Usman still looks like he could go out. Obviously, he's gonna have to fight a top guy next. Seemingly, it's gonna probably be a Bilal Muhammad.
Muhammad.
And that's a real fun matchup because Usman shows he can wrestle. Like, he has that technique, but he can also, if Usman needs to, he'll throw some strikes at you. But outside of that, there's a fight card this weekend. Jamal Hill and Khalil Roundtree Jr., both former title contenders. That's going to be huge. That's international, so it starts at 3 p.m. Eastern this weekend. But then June 28th is the big card. That's a international fight week in Las Vegas. That's Ilia Topuria, Charles Oliveira. On the co-main, it's Pantoja, Kaikara France, Dariush Moicano, Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van. It's a stacked card for International Fight Week.
Dude, June 28th. June 28th is a big fight day. That's actually my birthday. And you got the Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight that night too. And then you have WWE's Money in the Bank night at the same time. A
Yeah,
night of
big
champions,
fight,
night
yeah.
of champions.
Not a
I
chance.
was just thinking about that. It is going to be a lot
Dude,
of
my birthday is insane, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and because like you could literally go Night of Champions because that's an early start time because they're in Saudi. And then you could jump to UFC prelim / main card that starts at 6, and then by the time that's wrapping up, Jake Paul and Chavez should be having their ring walks.
Yeah.
Well, in lieu of the merger, I think that TKO is probably going to be scheduling their events. If they have WWE events and UFC events at the same time, they'll probably be trying to stagger them as much as possible just to try to catch both.
They're kind of doing that now.
That's what they did 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's what's happened. Yeah,
with Money in the Bank and that O'Malley card was they literally Money in the Bank literally ended at 10 o'clock pretty much on the dot as the UFC main card was coming on. So that way,
because TKO was about that money.
Yeah, perfect time.
And you see they're getting involved with they're getting involved, like Dana White and them are getting involved in promoting Canelo and Crawford.
Yeah.
Which UFC fans aren't very happy about Dana White promoting boxing right now.
As a UFC fan, I love TKO. As a WWE fan, I hate TKO. I'm gonna say that right now.
I don't know.
Why?
Because ever since TKO has gotten in the mix and taken over, everything's been a money grab. Everything's been sponsorships. Everything's been this, everything, and everything they do, instead of like basing it off of what the fans like really actually want, it's just based off of what's gonna make the dollar. And Vince was like that in a sense, but he still had a sense of love for wrestling, which is why a lot of wrestling fans are like, well, we kind of want Vince back. Like,
and like they always talk about how like Vince viewed the mat as a sacred safe space. Like he would never put a sponsorship on the mat. And but that's not a big deal. Like I feel like we should have known like once TKO got involved. Like, have you seen a UFC mat? There's fucking sponsors everywhere.
Yeah.
They've always had there's always going to be sponsorships. And if you look at New Japan, they have ads and shit on their mat. So it's not like for some reason.
But are they pulling out the Slim Jim table and the fucking Fireball letter? No, they're not doing that.
No, they're not doing that. But I mean, at the same time, they're catering to younger fans too. So that's like, it looks kind of silly and goofy, and it's meant to be that way. And I think a lot of the older fans, it's like, if you don't like it, it's not meant for you. It's meant for the younger fans. So they don't care.
Get it, but I think the problem is not like first of all, I don't think it has anything to do with the fans. It has to do with the money that they want to make.
Well, all of it's money for sure. Like, I mean, no matter what it is, everything's money.
Yeah, that's why they're shoving Jey Uso down our throats with his trash self. That's why they keep. I
don't understand the Jey Uso hate you have. Because honestly, like people
talk about it.
He's like garbage.
Wrestling fans consistently ask for a guy like Jey Uso to be put on top, and then when they get it, they bitch. It makes no sense.
Because here's why. Because for what 3 years now, we've asked for LA Knight to get even the slightest bit of a push.
He has a push.
Okay, they gave him the US title.
You want him to be the WWE champion for 5 years?
Okay, but why has he been putting Money in the Bank 3 straight years in a row? Why can't he just win it one time?
Because he's not ready to win it. And his character's not meant to win Money in the Bank. I mean, why would
he doesn't have to?
You think? Let me ask you this.
Stone Cold didn't need a championship or a belt or a briefcase to be Stone Cold. That's what LA Knight is.
I mean,
and Stone Cold was Intercontinental Champion and all that stuff first, and King of the Ring.
$1 million champion first.
Yeah, $1 million champion. So I mean, he really worked his ass off to be fucking Stone Cold. And there's not a lot of people like him. LA Knight, I personally liked him when he was in NWA and TNA and stuff, when he was Eli Drake. But LA Knight isn't the guy that's going to walk around with a briefcase and, try to surprise you and run out and do that. That doesn't fit his character.
Yeah.
A lot of it has to match their character. Like Naomi winning was perfect because it fit her character.
Which I was
Seth Rollins winning fits the character.
Yeah, Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Because to me, Seth Rollins had to. Like, there was
just at some point, can we not take the layup? Like, if that's what WWE's doing a lot of now, they're just taking the easy layup. Wait a minute, Ray. Wouldn't you say that
LA Knight and Jey Uso are practically on the same level?
I mean, at one point, Ellie, you have to agree. When LA Knight was at his peak, like a year and a half ago, dude, he was undeniable, dude. Every time, dude, he was getting the biggest pop of the night. I mean, I'm not denying that Jey Uso's over. Like, I fucking was in a stadium in February when he won the Royal Rumble. Like, I'm not gonna deny that Jey Uso isn't over. But like,
I think that his underdog story speaks volumes. I mean, he was someone who was just pegged as a tag team guy who could never break into the main thing. He could never get over. They tested the waters with the main event Jey Uso thing during COVID, and then they brought it back because it was extremely popular then, and he is a better talent than Jimmy. So they did what they did.
I disagree.
I mean,
he has more charisma. He has more charisma.
But I think Jimmy's better on the mic all around.
You're probably right there. But overall, they look at the charisma, and he's more.
But my thing is this: it's not like he's just some golden spoon fed dude who got the stroke from the back. Like, he fought his way to this point. So
I mean, he kind of did. He's Samoan. That's kind of what the going.
Oh, don't do that! Don't do that!
We love Samoans here on the Final Four.
Don't do that, Brad.
Sports Pro. We love Samoans.
I love him just as much as the next guy. But I mean, like, come on! Like,
there's so many to love.
I mean, I mean, how many Samoans have there been in and out of WWE who haven't been main eventers, bro? Like, come on, that's not a good.
Tamina.
Yeah, besides her.
But you got to remember, there ain't nobody meaner than Tamina.
All right.
There you go.
Was Rikishi running around as the world heavyweight champion?
No, he's running around in a diaper though.
Yeah. With the
he was okay. He was hella over though. Rikishi was low.
He was. So was the rest of
he was a comedy actor.
Bro, but like Rikishi now is hella annoying. Like if you see the shit he puts out there.
Oh yeah.
Like he's literally
he's the Deion Sanders of wrestling.
Yeah,
right now.
He's a LeVar Ball.
My sons need to be champions all the time.
There was a thing on Twitter where it had if Rikishi was booking, and
I saw it. There was one. There was if Rikishi did it, if Vince did it, if The Rock did it, and it was just all The Rock. He was just like The Rock. And then there was Ava, who was the women's champion.
The one thing I'll say this about wrestling fans, and with LA Knight, like he is over, right? But it's just like if you go back when Kofi, everyone wanted Kofi to be the world champ, everyone wanted Big E to be the world champ, and it's like, because they're someone's favorite, if they are not world champion, it doesn't matter. Like LA Knight, it doesn't matter that he's on commercials, it doesn't matter that he's showcased every week, it doesn't matter that he's been a champion at one point, or a couple times US champ. Like, none of those things matter, but he has to win the world title. And then when he wins the world title, they get tired of.
They're not gonna give a fuck.
They don't give a shit.
Look what happened to Cody.
I mean, there's a couple instances like it's just kind of like bad booking, like with Kofi. Like, Kofi Mania buildup was so elite. Like, the Kofi Mania buildup was just so good to where when we finally got that payout, it was so great. And then, Brock Lesnar happened.
Right. And he won the way he should have won. Because honestly, for me, I wasn't a fan of Kofi being world champ. Even now, looking at him, don't say, people can say, oh, that's a former world champion. He doesn't look like a former world champion.
Yeah.
And just to think, right? That was supposed to be Mustafa Ali, too. Just remember that.
If you were to tell me right now that Kofi Kingston used to be the WWE champion, I'd be like, no, you're lying.
Right, let me look that up.
But just think about history. It was supposed to be Mustafa Ali, so I would rather have Kofi Kingston.
Mustafa Ali isn't that bad as a main.
Nah, but I can't see him as no world champion. That's insane.
Mustafa Ali was way too small of a guy.
TNA TNA used Mustafa Ali better.
Well, that's because he
was able to be a main
He
event.
fits in their
He
product.
fits that archetype though. Like the only real big monster they have on their roster is Moose. So like TNA is kind of that brand for like a lot of smaller
Moose.
guys. But like
Moose.
That's my shit.
Moose is like a skinnier Obafemi to me. Like,
Yeah. Oh, I love Oka, bro.
I do
wait
too. I can't wait till he like that's the guy.
Wait.
Put the world title on him.
There's
I want to
some-
see
Yeah,
that
put the
guy.
world title on that guy.
I want to see that.
There's some big matches you can make when you call Oba up, like Oba versus Bronson Reed.
Oba versus Braun Breaker. Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like,
There's
did we not
so
get
much.
that?
But my only concern
Nah, not
is like
me.
what
I don't
always,
think so.
my only
I don't
concern
think so.
is that they're doing better now with it. But my only concern is that like they bring these guys who are really good in NXT up to the main roster, and then they become an actor, kind of like Carmelo Hayes. What happened with Carmelo Hayes?
But
they're doing better. They do better with the women. Like they did really good with Stephanie McCare. They do really good with Roxanne Perez right now. They did really good with Julia. Like, but with the men, it seems like they kind of get lost in the sauce because there's like these larger than life names on. So I just hope that if they bring him, they don't just kind of poo him like they did Hello.
That's kind of what happens, unfortunately. Like that's kind of like Oba. I feel like Oba will pass. Like Oba, Trick, like those guys will pass because they've built that name so big on NXT. And NXT is honestly growing so large.
It's so good. NXT is like almost eons better than the main roster in some aspects.
I'd argue. I think it's better than SmackDown only because SmackDown doesn't need to be 3 hours.
Yeah, I
like don't think any
show.
wrestling show besides the pay-per-view should be for 3 hours long. I think that it gets OD. I find myself fast-forwarding through a lot of it, 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Just
like,
to kind of
a couple segments, but like 3 hours.
Just to kind of go back to what originally started this whole thing with the
TKO. How did we get here?
The one thing I did want to
mention.
Booking?
What is this?
Yeah, exactly. Shout out Joe. One thing I did want to mention is, with the sponsorships and stuff, I understand why people are bothered by the Slim Jim on the tables, and I understand all of that. But at the same time, they've always had sponsorships in the wrestling ring. Like I've been saying, like New Japan, they've always had that on there. I mean, a lot of people say, well, Vince would never. Well, Vince is the same guy that had Brock Lesnar go out with his trunks that had sponsorships, all
Jimmy
over.
John's.
Just like he had when he was in UFC. So he obviously it's the same thing. One's on the table, one's on the short.
It's like comparing. It's like comparing, like NASCAR cars are sponsored by something. Okay, like a lot of fighters come out with. I mean, you even watch NBA. They have Wish on the LA Lakers thing. Like
that's my point. You're making my point, but you're making my point.
Sponsorships on uniforms is one thing, but when it becomes, well, we're bringing out the Slim Jim table, that's fucking retarded. I'm sorry.
Am I a fan of it? Am I a fan of that? No, but I mean, it doesn't like bother me like some people on the internet are so fucking bothered. Fine,
but like when it becomes OD and like, okay, one thing was like, this is brought to you by Snickers, so that's one thing. That's
but it happened once.
So are you saying you didn't like the speed shit at WrestleMania 40 when he came out in the prom bottle?
I only like that because it was Logan Paul involved in it. Like it was different.
So there's goalposts moving then.
No, because it's Logan Paul. It's a part of his character. It's not like just some random plug.
It is different when it is, the goat of the business right now, Logan Paul. It is a lot different,
Our guy Logan. It's not goalpost moving, but like, can we not agree that the fact that there's a difference between it being involved, like that's his company, it's his character. It makes sense for him to have a prime bottle because he's plugging his own company. But Slim Jim has fuck all to do with the storyline of WWE.
To be honest, though, like Slim Jim has been one of I understand why they keep them around because they've been like their biggest sponsors.
Macho Man made them fucking so much money.
But that was a separate commercial. It wasn't like something happening during a fucking match. Like,
dude, you're not gonna sit here and tell me you weren't a fan of the Fireball ladder that Money in the Bank.
I wasn't a fan of the Fireball ladder. What the fuck? And it's gotten shit reviews from wrestling fans across the board.
Come on, I thought that shit was cool.
Bro, you know what? Here's the thing, though. Sometimes wrestling fans just need to take a break and understand it's all fun, bro. Like, this shit's not real. It's all fucking part of the show. No one gives. Everyone's
Not
trying
a
to make
part of the
money.
show,
You mean
nigga.
to,
I didn't
you
care
mean to
about
tell me,
that.
Dior, if fucking Slim Jim isn't gonna fucking sponsor this show, we're all gonna wear Slim Jim t-shirts, motherfucker. This shit's gonna say Slim Jim everywhere,
I'm eating
and
this
they're
bitch
paying us
down to the
money.
hot
We
dog.
can,
I'm
We
we,
eating
can
this
eat
this
bitch
should
Slim
just be
Jim
a
talking about
line, man.
sports.
This should just be a line where it just becomes like your cheap plug. Like I like how AEW does it, right? Where like
Of course,
MJF
no,
will
of
come
course.
out.
Here we go.
No,
How do they do it? That's so much better.
Well,
How do they do it with their
okay,
phenomenal ratings?
First and foremost, I don't even watch AEW, but I've seen AEW plugs where MJF will come out and he's cutting a promo and he'll make it a funny moment where he's like obviously cheaply plugging something where it's like he's like kind of winking as like a breaking the fourth wall thing where it's like funny, but it's not funny like just when you can tell that it's a cheap plug that they're trying to like make. You know what I'm saying? Like where it's not a rib. You're seriously trying to plug something. Like
they're trying to plug Slim Jim. They're putting it on the table. That's exactly what they're doing.
Okay. How about the Hot Take Tuesday?
You know what? Since we're unplugging sponsors,
yeah, let's get some sponsors in here.
This is sponsored
dude
by
wipes. There we go. Dude wipes.
Samoans.
We need some more dude wipes. Here we go. iPhone, Apple.
This
iPhone.
Is sponsored by Just
Send
for
us
Men.
iPhones. Send us iPhones.
CVS. Shout out CVS.
Oh, don't forget Bud Light.
Sponsored by Lost Mary Vapes.
Sponsored by Febreze. Get your funky ass out of here.
What else do we got? All right, I don't have anything else. All right, so there we go. Sponsors, we need to. We'll wear them. We'll use them. We'll do all of it. So that's a great segue into Hot Take Tuesday. I got to start with Dior. Dior, you haven't really been here the last few weeks, so I know you're full of hot takes all the time anyways. What's the first and foremost biggest hot take that you want to show that you're the best?
So I said it the other day in the Discord after you said that Tyson, while he is your GOAT, he is overrated.
Yes.
I said, to me, Ali is the most overrated fighter of all time. Number one, let me just defend it by saying Ali did not face really anybody. I mean, he faced a few big names at that point, but like at the end of the day, like outside of like some of those names like Frazier and Holyfield, like outside of not Holyfield, outside of some of those names, like he faced a lot of nobodies and beat a lot of nobodies. Like,
you talking about Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson?
Muhammad Ali.
What nobodies do you think that who do you consider a nobody?
And
I'm about to shoot myself.
On top of that, there are a couple controversial fights that I feel like he low-key didn't win.
Which ones?
I wrote them down. Hold on.
Okay. Because
so the two that came to mind when I was kind of like I was doing a little bit of research on it to make sure my facts were straight. The two that came to mind at the end of that were the one against Ernie Shavers, which was a unanimous decision, but he pretty much got dominated in that entire fight.
Champion's advantage.
And then the one against Larry Holmes that was stopped in the 10th after once again Ali was dominated. Also,
but that was later in his career, though, wasn't it, Larry Holmes?
Yeah, it was later in his
career. A little bit later in his career, but still, I mean, he's still
because that's a young Larry Holmes against an old Muhammad Ali.
And then Ali versus Frazier 3 was stopped. And then so was Ali. Ali versus Norton wasn't stopped, but it had a controversial finish where once again a lot of people were like, I feel like Norton kind of won this one. So it felt like he might have been a little bit. He might have been a little bit coddled in that era, a little bit.
No, but he beat a prime George Foreman. Do you know how dominant George Foreman was?
That's why I meant George
Foreman. He beat him. He beat him clean too.
George Foreman back then was a fucking dog.
Like a tank,
was. He
bro.
did.
He could not clean the motherfucker out.
Listen, like Server said, Mike Tyson is his GOAT. He just thinks he's a bit overrated. I'm not saying Ali, by any stretch of the imagination, isn't a great boxer. I'm not saying he's not one of the GOATs or the GOAT even. But I think that the one reason that he was considered the greatest of all time is because he said he was. That was his thing. I'm the greatest of all, like how CM Punk said, I'm the best in the world. Is CM Punk literally the best in the world? Probably not. But he said it, so that's his moniker. Ali said he was the greatest of all time. That's what people called him. That's my take.
But here's the thing, though. He fought a lot of great fighters. So he did.
Yes.
And that was when the division was insane back. And that was back then. So there wasn't anybody doing what Ali was doing. His style was different. He obviously he could talk, but he was a great fighter, especially like a great defensive fighter too. You know, he made the rope-a-dope.
His style might not have been really effective against a certain type of opponents. It was who he was facing. His style worked because it was based off of speed and footwork. He was facing these big ass dudes who were all based off of power. Like he didn't have anyone to really match his speed.
I mean, dude, he was walking around at 212 pounds. I mean,
I get that, but that's what I'm saying.
That's
like,
kind of hard to say
because he was a fighter that based his entire fighting style off of speed, and he was facing mostly powerhouses. He had an advantage because speed kills.
Well, here,
how does that make him overrated?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
First of all, I'm saying, because like I said, because like I said, like his opposition, while they were great fighters, he had the advantage with his fighting style. He was just a bit faster. He doesn't necessarily mean that he was the better fighter. He was just faster. So being faster and being a good defensive fighter, not able to be hit, he's like Floyd Mayweather of that time at this point.
But don't you think that would help him? Like, I mean, you're saying he's faster. That's like saying, oh, this running back, he's not very fast, but he's got a lot of skill. But then there's another running back who's really, really fast, and he's fucking rushing leader. And they're like, oh, no, if he wasn't so fast, he wouldn't win the rushing title. He's just fast. Well, okay.
Okay,
like,
well,
he's just fast.
Well, it's like anything. I don't even want to bring it back to Jalen Hurts, but I can if I want.
Oh my god! There you go.
You know, like all in all, like if you look at that situation, it's like, oh well, he can run, but that's not a quarterback stat. You know what I'm saying? If you look at Ali, it's like, all right, well, yes, that's something that he can do well. He is fast, but at the end of the day, he's facing guys who aren't as fast because their style is powerhouse. It's a mesh of style. His style, I want to see Ali versus somebody with his speed. And I want to see who.
But I mean, that's just. I mean, look. At the time that he fought amazing fighters. They're all like just legends. Like you look at the people. I mean, sure, there's some weaker fighters in there, but the people.
There are how many legends? I mean, how many like awesome like name them? I'm not saying Joe Frazier. I get that.
Foreman.
Who's the name we just talked about?
George Foreman.
I get that.
Ed Holmes.
Yes, and then okay, so you're probably gonna be able to name like 5, and then the rest are just kind of okay.
I mean, it's a crazy take. Yeah, it's a crazy take to me because I'll say this because my take with Tyson, a lot of people will say it's crazy until they look at the facts. Mike Tyson never beat anybody. He never beat one big name. He lost to big names.
Besides, he beat Spinks. That was like the only big name he beat.
Yeah, but
Spinks wasn't that big.
But he was probably the biggest one that he beat.
Yeah, and that was when he won the title in that fight. He became like the youngest.
Like 19. Yeah, he was like 19.
I mean, he was fighting in a time period that really, I mean, it wasn't heavy on fighters.
Well, he was when Mike came in, all the good older guys were going out.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I'm saying.
Hard for him to fight everybody on the way out.
Like there wasn't really that many much competition anyway.
Well, the thing was he like Don King was promoting him to where he would just build that undefeated record up. And Buster Douglas was a part of that. Like, oh, we're just gonna, get the money grab in another country. This should be an easy dub. And it wasn't because Mike was going through all this personal shit with his divorce and all the other stuff going on. And his mind wasn't right. And I think that moment really fucked him up because he really wasn't the same after that. He couldn't beat Evander Holyfield. He wasn't fighting guys like Riddick Bowe. He wasn't fighting guys like Michael Moore.
Evander Holyfield is Evander Holyfield. That's a nasty motherfucker, bro.
You can make a case for Evander Holyfield being, the best if you were really like
He's
wanted to
he's
do a
one
deep
of them.
dive.
Yeah, heavyweight wise, he's one of the best heavyweights ever.
I mean, just saying he is the best heavyweight. You could really make a case for that because looking at his resume compared to Mike Tyson's, there's a bunch. Like Mike Tyson still is my favorite. He is my personal GOAT because there wasn't anyone like him, even though he was fighting a bunch of bums, and those were all of his wins. Majority of them, actually, they were all of his wins except for the Spinks one. But
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it's like he was just a powerhouse fucking fighter. He was great, but he's literally not the best when you look at his record. Now on the flip side,
what makes Mike Tyson your GOAT then?
I just liked him. I just think
he
that
was just raw, bro.
there
He
was
just
no
raw.
there was just no one else like him.
Yeah,
So even though he fought
fuck
bums,
you in the ass, and he'll be like, "I'll fuck you in the ass," and then he'll beat your ass.
Like,
That's jail talk.
he's just one of he's like, well, look at Dior's just dressed like he just got out today. So it's like
I know, right?
he's got that. Like, I'll beat your ass and fuck you in the ass. See, the thing is with Tyson, it's like you look at all the fighters, even now, there's nobody that has the same style. No one is like rough. You know what I mean? Like he was just that guy, and he was, the guy I looked at in boxing when I was like a huge fan. I love like the other weight classes too, like Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvis Hagler.
I think one of my goats,
Roy Jones Jr.
That's what
Roy
that's,
Jones
that's,
is my
Roy
GOAT.
Jones
That
Jr.
is
one
my
of the
GOAT.
probably
That is
Roy
my
Jones
GOAT.
Jr. is my GOAT.
I fuck with him heavy, bro. I love Roy
His
Jones.
list goes on, bro. He was
Philly
knocking
Shell,
motherfuckers
baby.
out.
That Philly Shell, hell yeah.
Yeah. Roy was him.
I liked him. And by the way, for people wondering, where's that other guy that was on here, Bray? He told us earlier that he had an engagement or whatever that he would dip out early.
Yeah, litigation.
Job interview.
He had something going on. I said an
All
engagement.
these say he had litigation. I'm like, that nigga going to court.
That's why he had the
Me
hood
and
on.
Oos had a couple libations.
No, but that's where he went for people wondering. But yeah, just that is a pretty hot take about Ali, though. I think you should watch more Ali fights.
And I think the biggest so someone had said it, and then I started to like kind of look at it, and then I was like, I didn't come prepared enough with like the list of his opponents, but like, and I'm not saying he didn't fight fucking legends. He did. He had some of the most legendary fights of all time, and he was beating these guys. But then if you look at the majority of the record, there are throwaways, and I think that he honestly was overshadowed by the controversy he was surrounding a little bit, and his arrogance and his personality. I think that he that was what made him so big. That's what made him the greatest of all time. The personality. And I'm not saying he wasn't. I mean, damn sure. I mean, I'd probably call him the GOAT, but how good of a GOAT he was, like fully, like pound for pound, I don't know. I'd have to go back, and I think he just might be slightly overrated. I don't know.
That's crazy saying is overrated.
Maybe I saw
that's gonna lean into my next hot take.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I think that Wilt Chamberlain is the most overrated basketball player to ever touch one in the history of the NBA.
I mean,
did you watch Wilt play?
Is there any film I can watch?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. How can we say that he's overrated?
How the fuck am I supposed to believe this 100-point game shit and we don't got no film?
Okay, so you're on the Bray bandwagon.
No, but like, bro, we got World War II clips. Why can't I watch Wilt Chamberlain score 100 points?
During that time, there wasn't really showing a lot of basketball in that era. There were people still trying to
show motherfuckers getting bombed on.
Yeah, because that's what American likes.
Especially basketball from the blacks.
Right. That wasn't a time where they really wanted to showcase somebody doing something good. They'll show a bunch of Asians getting bombed, but they didn't.
That shit was black and white, bro.
Watch Hiroshima all over again.
Okay, but can we just say this?
Can Wilt Chamberlain score 100?
Can we say Wilt Chamberlain scoring 100 points with no 3-point line is fucking crazy?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how?
Just by twos.
I watched LaMelo Ball score 92 and he was just shooting threes, bro. Like, how does this not happen?
He didn't even dunk either. He just all layups.
Bro, he's just all
your
layups.
Next door
just
neighbor
hitting the square. Just hitting the square. Just hitting the square.
Like, what the shit, man? That's my hot take, bro. I don't believe half the shit that happened with that man.
man.
I mean, do you believe he fucked all them?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Believe that,
Bro,
boy.
you see, bro, back in the day, if females see somebody that tall, that big, they know he play ball.
Yeah.
They just sucking dick for no reason.
For no reason, just sucking dick.
Don't even know if he got good hygiene, nothing. Oh, he play ball. Let me get
Just
that. Let
sucking
me
dick
get
for
that.
no reason.
They want to climb the. They want to climb the
I
ladder.
just want to climb the ladder.
Sucking
That's
dick
all.
for no reason is preposterous, bro. Jesus.
If they saw Wilt Chamberlain back in the day, bro had to pull his pants down immediately. They did it for him.
Yeah, it's just already on their head. It's just right there.
It's just
right. Oh, you don't want to show that hairline? That shit. You're like, hold up.
Well, can you not? Can we?
Can you edit that part out?
Can we cut this? Please cut it out.
No, we putting that in the
No.
shorts, bro.
That's
You
gonna-
gotta put that in the short
That-
clips.
this is
Don't
a
make
short.
that the thumbnail. That's not the thumbnail.
That's the thumbnail. That's the short. That's gonna be the
Thumbnail,
new
short
logo.
clips,
That's the
everything,
new logo.
bro. He said,
Well, I know what episode I'm not
that shit
following.
right
Okay,
back on.
that's
So we
no.
saw that shit say, woo, woo, you.
That
I was
fucking
telling all these
hairline
girls,
went. Bye
all
bye.
you girls in my job, you should watch this. You should watch this. Nah, not today.
No,
Not
this is not
episode.
the week.
Nah, this episode you gotta watch.
Nah,
This is
it's
going
the
on
one you don't
TikTok
watch.
for sure. That's
That was like this Illuminati clip when his head fell off. Oh God, they killed
Oh
me just now.
no!
That's fucking gust of wind took that motherfucker off.
That shit.
I want to get to. I was gonna shave my shit off and just look like you.
Just do it. It will probably look good.
Suck my dick. I don't want to. I'm holding on to it for the
Gross.
last second that I have. Okay.
I mean, you're starting to look like
Holding on to
you're
it.
starting to look like Chico Bean. Fucking.
He got dreads too. I was about to say, but it's just his hairline back here though.
You gotta
Yeah.
get Nero on. We gotta have a battle of the hairline.
You gotta have
Oh Jesus.
a hairline off. This fucking
Yeah.
his shit's about to go
Dre,
too.
Get Nero, all of us dreadhead motherfuckers.
Oh my
Jesus
god,
Christ.
it's just a fucking hanging
Just the
on.
dreadheads.
Battle of the foreheads.
So speaking of hanging on, do you have any more hot takes, Dior?
No, I'm gonna come back with a better one next week.
All right.
Yeah, next week I got a better one.
Yeah, the Will Chamberlain one's not.
That
I
was
mean,
last
I kind of
week.
agree. I kind of agree. You know, I think he. I mean, he's going. I mean, look at the time. It's kind of like when we shit on Bill Russell.
Bro, he's
Like-
playing against you. He's playing against
Right,
you. That's the size
exactly.
of the centers back in the day, bro. He's playing
You're
against
the
you.
same nigga.
I got it. I'll
You're
guard him.
the same nigga.
I'll guard him.
Bro, they're
He
just
keeps
going
scoring
and picking
these twos
motherfuckers
on
out
me.
of
That
Kmart.
Bill
Like, yo,
Russell
bro,
ain't
we
fuck
need you
on
to
him,
come
bro.
guard Wilt tonight, bro. Come, you Kmart. Come on.
Right. I got him, coach. I got him. He just keeps shooting these
Coach,
twos.
I got him. He got 55 already, but I got him. I'm locking him up.
He only scored 90, coach. Get in there.
Coach,
We
he
gotta-
didn't
we
even
gotta
get
stop
400. All right, he only had 55 and
But wait,
38
my
rebounds,
thing
bro.
is this. My thing is this. All right, I'm gonna say this, bro. Like the fact that it says he scored 100 points, there's no footage of it, but there is a picture of him holding the fucking
Right.
That's it. That's all you get.
So how do you have a
That's it.
picture of him holding the paper like
That's
this?
it.
But you don't gotta
Like, what
you
the
don't
fuck?
gotta fucking film.
I
You
just
don't even
saw.
have a
I just
picture.
saw.
You don't even have a fucking still shot of a shot he took in the fucking
Nothing. Don't
I
even have
just-
him
I
hit the
just
tip
noticed
ball,
something.
nothing.
I just noticed something when Dior put his notes up. On his notes, it said, "Make sure hat don't come off." That's on the bottom of his notes with a fucking exclamation points after it. Please keep the hat off.
That
Oh
hat ain't
my
gonna be
God,
used next
man.
week. That motherfucker gonna be snug. That shit gonna be like,
Yeah, wait.
This is on tight.
Hey, Dre, can I borrow some of your hairline, bro?
nah, I gotta keep this for when I'm losing my shit. Damn it.
Nigga.
He's wavy,
The-
bro.
See the lucky niggas lose they shit in the back first. Okay,
Yeah, my shit on the top. I got the Cali on the
I
top.
wouldn't
My shit
mind
on the
having the
bottom
old
there.
John Cena crater in my fucking head. But
Well, you
this
know
shit
why
ain't-
you have it is because you wear hats all the time. That's how you get.
Yeah,
that's why
that's-
No,
Cena
I
has that
have
shit.
it because I when you get dreads, you retwist all the time. It pulls that shit back.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah.
I hate it when that happens. That fucking drives me crazy.
All right, we need to end this. City's end now.
Yeah, I think this is a good spot to end.
You should tell me
One of
about
these
it.
days, they're gonna put my jersey up on the fucking rafters over there at
Yeah,
fucking
your shit's
Crypto.
gonna get retired, dog.
Oh,
We're gonna get it. They'll put one
If
of my
not, if
dreads.
your shit's
One of
gonna
my
get
dreads will
retired,
be up
fuck
there.
you, okay?
Wagwan.
You don't matter if your shit ain't retired. Remember that.
There you go. Well, another great episode. I'm very I'm very excited to put that clip up for that's
Please don't do
that's
that.
the
Please do,
greatest.
bro. The short clip of that's gonna be
Oh,
hilarious.
no, that's like one of my biggest
Maybe
insecurities.
we'll get that Slim Jim sponsorship over it. Maybe that'll
Yeah,
happen.
Maybe.
yeah.
You should, when the hat
Yeah.
fell off, you should have been like, get Slim Jims. Like
They might Soul Glow might come around and try to sponsor us, you know.
the greatest. So you never know. We'll get this Soul Glow.
Get your Soul Glow.
That should have probably look good on the waves now. Shit, let me get some
I
of
got
that.
a watch coming to America. That's my shit.
I'll use it in my beard. But next time, if your hat comes off, just put a Slim Jim sticker like right here, and then you're golden.
Or wear like a
Just give me
Slim
the
Jim
footage so I can
bandana.
edit it, and then I'll just
Yeah.
like put like a emoji on my head or something.
It'll just say Slim Jim when I edit it. Like it's gonna come off. It's gonna say Slim Jim.
Buy a Slim Jim.
He just takes his hat off. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, brother.
It'd be Macho Man.
Oh yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for being here, like always, and everybody. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, just all that good stuff. We need you. We need to have people know all about this, so we could get that Slim Jim deal in the Soul Glow.
Yeah, the Soul Glow definitely.
And dude wipes. We need dude
Look
wipes.
good.
And dude wipes, yes, dude wipes definitely.
We need to do
Thank you,
wipes.
guys. We'll see y'all next week. Enjoy the rest of your day. Out of here.